Is the recent downturn in results going to lead to an extended losing run? With tough matches coming up before January, what do we need to do to turn things around? Anyone got any thoughts on that?
Have a
That's
bigger
such a big question. It sort of ties to what Ash is just trying to say about the players, and it also ties to what I want to say as well, which is which is about tactics.
Hmm.
But assuming under the circumstances with the players we've got and with the manager we've got and the clear picture of tactics that we've got ahead, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's still quite difficult to say, right? Because he's a new manager and he hasn't worked that much in competitive games with these players coming in.
Hmm.
So it depends on your level of optimism. So we should ask Austin, and he'll give us a nice happy answer.
Well, it's still very, very early days. So, yeah. Austin, come on, positivity. Give it to us.
Okay, we started the season and we did incredibly well. We've lost two games, one against Wolves, which was extremely disappointing in terms of performance, and one against Chelsea, which was 9 men against a very expensively put together team. That is starting to come together because they got a result against City straight after they got a result against us. So I'm not as pessimistic as I might otherwise have been. I think that the Postecoglou theory of playing the way that you want to play is strong. We didn't do it against Wolves, but we had a decimated team. And I don't know what he will do next. I genuinely don't. But my feeling is that he will do what is needed to get us back on track.
Hmm.
And until we have a couple of results, and I think what's going on, or what the heck's going on, I should say. Sorry about the language.
We're all adults here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know. It's a question of who watches, though. Um, I think we need to see what he does next because he's a big boy. He's taken responsibility, and I think he will sort it out. And I want to see what he does next because the big question right from the start of the season has always been what happens when we have a blip of form. I think Ashley was the one that advocated that, and I want to see what we do when we have a blip of form, which we have.
I want to come in with a pessimistic viewpoint, but let's let Ash speak first. I want to give a pessimistic version of it, just to balance.
Thanks, Roger.
Austin is right. I said this because I just figured the squad looked a bit thin, new guys coming in. We're going to hit a bad patch. And I said, refereeing decisions, suspensions, injuries, all of the above have happened. Now, on a positive note, like Austin, going into the third international break, who would have thought we'd be in top four? Probably none of us. We are in top four. Ahead of Newcastle, who would have thought that? But apparently, I think there's like 3 points separating the top five. Very tight. We're in the mix. Unfortunately, where the pessimism, Austin's right. What will he do? Because I have faith that he will find a way. But we are awfully, awfully thin, and who could expect five guys to be out? And these big injuries. So there are intangibles that even Ange may not at this point be able to overcome. I think we're ahead of schedule. He said he kept saying, "Well, we don't have a schedule or anything like that." I think we're actually ahead of schedule, but reality is hit. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, so
Matt,
I mean,
bring us the downbeat version. Come on.
Okay. First off, I do want to say that the views I'm about to give are not my views, right? I'm actually still optimistic, and of course, I mean, you have to be. I mean, clearly
You're
the
playing
start of the
devil's
season's
advocate.
been rigged. As a devil's advocate, here's
Yeah.
the potentially gloomy picture. I mean, aside from the obvious, which is injuries, suspensions, etc., which put us in a difficult situation. I think there is some reason to believe that at least for this first burst of high quality football and good results, the way of dealing with Ange's football has been to a certain extent developed, it seems to me. So I think that teams have started to figure out, not in general, I still think that, Andrew's system potentially can outplay, when done well, can beat anyone. But I think you can see by the way that teams are pressing us, particularly pressing us narrow, and also, okay, sure, without the best players available, we're starting to have difficulties. And there was a period against Chelsea after about 10 minutes where we stuck to our principles of playing through and they weren't letting us. And we started to give the ball away. And there were times against Wolves as well, periods where we started to give the ball away, particularly at the end, when teams know to press us with really high intensity, knowing full well that we're going to stick to our game plan, there's an opportunity there to catch us out and score. So I'm concerned that that our commitment to a certain style of football means that everyone knows what we're going to do, and it's a bit too predictable. Obviously, if we do it well enough, it doesn't matter. But we're not doing it well enough now.